Most resellers think Vuori is the fastest moving pants brand on eBay right now. The data says they're wrong. The number that actually matters to your sourcing belongs to a workwear brand that most resellers are walking right past. 277% sell-through rate. For every pair that's listed, nearly 3 pair have sold in the last 90 days. And almost nobody's sourcing it. I built this data set to show you not just what's hot right now, but what's about to peak and what still has runway. I'm also going to show you the tech check. 3 seconds at the rack to know exactly which market you're holding before you even check the tag. Before we get into the data, I want to give you something that you can use tomorrow at the thrift store. When you're moving fast through the rack, you don't have time to pull every pair and check the tag. So here's what I do instead. I call it the tech check. 3 seconds. That's all it takes. Extra pockets, cargo style, zippered pockets, any functional hardware, ripstop fabric, or technical material. That's your first market. Technical pants, hunting gear, outdoor equipment, tactical. Minimal pockets, stretchy performance material, the kind that looks like it belongs on a golf course. That's your second market. Lifestyle pants, Vuori, Lululemon, Rhone. Standard pockets, cotton or wool construction, sometimes linen. Traditional cut. That's your third market. Think Brooks Brothers, J. Crew, Ralph Lauren. Technical, lifestyle, classic. 3 completely different sourcing strategies. And the data tells a very different story about each one. Here's what the numbers actually say. The fastest moving pants in resale are not fashion brands. They're functional gear. And when you think about why, it makes perfect sense. These aren't style purchases, they're replacement purchases. Hunters replacing worn out field pants. Workers replacing work pants. Hikers buying technical gear for a specific trip. That replacement demand creates consistent velocity that fashion brands cannot match. Let me show you what that looks like in the data. KUIU is a premium hunting brand most resellers have never heard of. And many walk right past because some other channels on here are telling you to only pick up tiger stripe camo. Well, that's a fashion trend, not technical. And that's exactly why the numbers look like this. I've found it twice. It's rare. But if you live anywhere near hunting country, this is a brand worth knowing on site. Sitka, 122% sell-through. Another hunting-focused technical brand. ASP over $50, and the trend signals on price and total sold are both rising. Same story as KUIU. Niche enough that supply stay low, but demand stays consistent. First Light, 164% sell-through, ASP over $70 with low supply pressure. These 3, KUIU, Sitka, First Light, are your hunting tier brands. High velocity, high ASP, almost no competition from other resellers because almost nobody knows about them. Outdoor Research, 135% sell-through. This one crosses over into hiking and general outdoors. Far more findable than the hunting brands, but still very strong numbers. Arc'teryx, 145% sell-through. ASP pushing $90. You already know Arc'teryx. The data backs up the hype. The velocity is real and the price holds. Fjallraven, 120% sell-through rate. ASP close to $85, trend signal still solid. This is a Scandinavian outdoor brand with a loyal buyer base that isn't super price conscious. Now I want to talk about workwear for a second, because this is where that number lives. Brunt, 277% sell-through. Brunt is a direct-to-consumer workwear brand with high-quality construction, relatively affordable pricing, and most resellers are walking right past it because they've never even heard of it. I've found Brunt at the thrift store multiple times. It's out there. And here's the thing. This number is not going to look like this forever. Once resellers start targeting it, supply increases, and it starts looking like every other brand on this list. That's what I call below shelf life. Every brand has a window before the market catches up. Brunt's window is wide open right now. Taylor Stitch, 100% sell-through, ASP over $55. Trend signal, volume up, price holding. That combination means the brand still has runway. It's worth learning. Ariat, we all love selling their jeans. Their pants can sell too. 94% sell-through rate, trend signal, 3x up on the volume, while the price is held stable. This is Western adjacent workwear that many resellers completely ignore because they're not their jeans. This is another brand with real runway. Now let's talk about the brands where the velocity is lower, but the price more than makes up for it. Crye Precision, 104% sell-through rate, ASP $146. Now 104% sell-through rate is far from slow, but this will be a very rare find, but it does show up in the thrift every once in a while. I have found this brand in Gov Surplus auctions before though. Cry is a tactical and military gear brand. The pants are legitimately used by special operations units. There's a collector market on top of the professional replacement market. That combination pushes the ASP to a level that almost nothing in this data set touches. You're not going to find these regularly, but when you do, you know what you're holding. Filson, 97% sell-through rate, ASP over $100. This is heritage American workwear. The buyer base for Filson is loyal, and they know exactly what they want. The price holds. Brunello Cucinelli, 96% sell-through rate with an ASP of $126. This is a luxury Italian brand. If you find these at the thrift store, you already know what to do. Outlier, 93% sell-through with an ASP of over $70. This is a technical lifestyle crossover brand with a small but consistent buyer base. Real quick, if you want the full data set for this video, every brand we've covered, plus the ones we didn't get to, it's in the Flip Forecast. Free newsletter. Links in the description or scan the QR code on screen right now. One email when I publish, that's it. Remember Vuori from the top of this video? Let me show you what the trend data actually says. Vuori's sell-through rate on men's pants right now is 56%. That's solid. That's why people are still recommending. And those people aren't wrong. They're just operating on old information. Look at the 3-year trend signal. Volume sold, way up. Average sale price, trending down. That combination has a specific meaning. It means the market is flooding. More supply is hitting eBay. Buyers have more options, and they're paying less for each pair. Here's how that plays out at the thrift store. 2 years ago, you're grabbing Vuori joggers for $5 and then flipping them for $40. Today, you're competing against dozens of other sellers who have also learned that Vuori sells. The ASP has compressed. The margin has compressed. And the trend says it only goes one direction from here. Vuori is about to fall off the cliff. That's not a bolo. That's a brand you source differently than you used to. Lower price threshold, tighter condition standards, because the buyer now has options. I call these brands on the clock. They look like bolos based on current sell-through, but the trend tells you the window is already closing. Here's what the rest of the lifestyle market looks like and why the same pattern keeps showing up. Lululemon, 42% sell-through, 26,000 active listings. Let that number sit for a second. 26,000 active pairs of Lululemon men's pants on eBay right now. That is not a sourcing opportunity. That is a category fighting over the same buyers. Volume is massive while the price is trending down. Same pattern, different brand. This is a volume play with shrinking margins, not a premium flip. If you're sourcing Lulu at the bins and flipping it for 20, 25 bucks, fine. If you're paying 10 bucks at the racks hoping to flip it for 40, 45, the data does not support that anymore. Rhone, 29% sell-through, demand trending up, price trending down. Same pattern as Vuori, same as Lulu. Fabletics, 28% sell-through, volume rising, pricing power, not there. 10,000. Now here's the brand that tells the other side of the story. Same lifestyle tier as Vuori or Lululemon, but 99% sell-through rate. The 3-year price trend is stable while the market size continues to increase. If you don't know 10,000 yet, it's time to start targeting it at the thrift store. While resellers are fighting over Vuori and Lululemon pants, you can be grabbing the 10,000s sitting on the rack all by themselves. And they're not the easiest to spot. The branding is minimal and the logo is this. Vuori's window is closing. 10,000's window is still opening. That's the whole reason you run the data instead of following the crowd. The lifestyle market is not dead, but you need to know which brands in that tier still have runway and which ones are fixing to fall off the cliff. The brands with actual runway right now are in the technical and workwear tier, and one activewear brand many resellers have never heard of. Let me save you some time and talk about the brands that look familiar but consistently underperform in the data. Dockers, 14.8% sell-through. That's the lowest velocity in the entire data set. 1 in 7 pairs sell, the other 6 sit. If you're picking up Dockers because they look clean and they're a brand you recognize, that's the trap. Recognition is not the same as demand. Columbia, 25% sell-through. Demand trending down, both price and volume over the last 3 years. High supply, falling demand. This is not a brand with a floor. It's a brand in slow decline. The mall tier, Banana Republic, Gap, Bonobos, Hager, 24 to 27% sell-through. Heavy supply, no meaningful upward trend signal anywhere. You can flip these if the price is right and you're getting them at the bins, for example. But don't prioritize them over brands where the data is actually working for you. The trap brand pattern is always the same. Names you know, numbers you don't want. Learn the difference and you just got faster at the rack. Let's come back to where we started. The number that matters to your sourcing belongs to a workwear brand most resellers walk right past. The highest sell-through rate in this data set is actually Kuyu at 419%, but it's rare. I've only found it once. The number that actually moves the needle for most resellers, Brunt, a workwear brand, 277% sell-through rate, still findable at the thrift store, and most resellers are still walking right past it. That's the whole point of this data. The brands everyone's talking about, Vuori, Lululemon, Columbia, those either have fallen or are getting ready to completely fall off the cliff. The market knows them. The opportunity in those brands is shrinking. The real opportunity is in the brands that solve a problem. Hunting pants, technical gear, premium workwear. Brands where the buyer needs a replacement, not a trend. And in the lifestyle tier, we have one brand where the window is still opening. Do the tech check at the rack. Extra pockets and technical fabric means you're in the fastest moving segment of the entire market. That's the data talking. Full data set is linked in the description. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, that's where the research library lives. And if you want to see the same data applied to a single brand, I did a full deep dive on Levi's that I think you'll find interesting. Click right here and I'll see you in that one.